Before I start, just look at how dry these leaves are. It's been about 2 weeks since I've last watered my plants, and that's just because I've been away. Sorry, a helicopter. Welcome to LA. So for the past 2 weeks, I haven't been watering my plants just because I haven't been home. My plants are so dry. They are so crispy. They are dying for water. And I just got back last night and I've been resisting not trying to water them because I wanted to show you guys how I water my plants. Not because I water my plants in a magical way, mainly because I have fungus gnats and I've been trying to get rid of them for the past 2 months and they've gone down tremendously. So I just wanted to share the methods that I've been using to kind of like eradicate them completely. I wanted to show you guys how I water my plants. I've been doing a combination of bottom watering, top watering, and when I top water, I water with mosquito bits, which I will show you, and more recently with this thing called natural. I will show you that as well. And then also this yellow sticky thing where you just insert it into the pot and it will catch some of the adult gnats. Let me show you. So it will catch those adult gnats. And yeah, I just wanted to show you guys how I water them because the fungus gnats are such an annoying thing to try to get rid of because one adult can lay up to 200 to 300 eggs per day. So you really want to try to attack the fungus gnats at all stages of its life cycle. So as an adult and also as eggs inside of the soil. So I'm scratching, sorry. It's just gross. So yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how I've been watering my plants, and yeah, let's just get into it. Before I even get into showing you guys how I water my plants, this is what I mean when I say that the yellow sticky tabs get the adult fungus gnats. And here's an example. Scratching again because it's just gross. Okay, so we're gonna start watering right now. So what I was mentioning earlier before is that I use natural, which is this. I bought it off of eBay. It was $27, I think, or $25. It says to mix 1/4 to 1 1/2 teaspoon with a gallon of water. And I will show you the mosquito bits that I've been using before I started using the natural. Okay, I've been using this before I got the natural. Mosquito bits is good, but my only thing is you need a nylon sock or something like that that you could put the mosquito bits in, because if not, they look like this. So it's very difficult to try to clean it up after. So that's why I prefer the natural, because it's powder and I can just put it inside my watering can, which is this. So I'm just going to show you now what I do to prepare my solution. Also, use a spoon or something like that that you could dispose. I would not recommend using measuring cups or spoons that you eat with, because this is essentially poison, and even though it says that it could be used around people and pets, you just don't want to cross-contaminate. So that's why I'm using a disposable spoon. Okay, so now the water is being filled in this watering can, and I think this watering can is, I honestly don't know how many liters or gallons fill this watering can, so that is kind of why I overestimate how much natural that I'm supposed to put in here, because I honestly feel like putting too much isn't a bad thing, because too much of the insecticide, it's literally just gonna kill the larvae more. that's in there. At least that's my thinking, my logical thinking around this. It's just crazy. I just want to share with you guys. So before I left 2 weeks ago, I put a new yellow sticky tab on here and it had no fungus gnats. I've come back, there's at least 10 on each side. And again, I'm still grossed out by it. Anyways, I just wanted to share that I still clearly have a fungus gnat problem. The water can is full. This plant is super dry. Oh, let me rewind. I'm gonna get my moisture meter because I also use my moisture meter while I'm watering. I use my moisture meter on a regular day-to-day, regularly when I'm watering, but because I know it's been a while since I've watered my plants, that all my plants are absolutely thirsty, but I'm still gonna show you how I use my moisture meter, so I'll be back. So here's the moisture meter, and I've had this moisture meter for a while, for a really long time, so I think you could find it on Amazon or like an Ace hardware store or Home Depot, and it shouldn't cost more than $10. Obviously, there's other ways to assess the moisture levels inside of your soil or your plant, but this is just the easiest way for me. So what I normally do when I want to water is that I will stick my moisture meter inside of the soil. Damn, this soil is dry as fuck. But for the sake of this video, typically if there's moisture in the soil, the stick isn't that hard to get in. But oh, it's saying that it's moist still? Are you kidding me? Okay. Maybe the moisture meter's broken. Okay. It's not. So now it's showing me, it's showing me 1.5, like it's in between the 1 and the 2 in terms of the scale of moisture, of how moist the soil is. So the lowest is 1, and that means dry, and 10 is the highest, which just means wet. Because of that, I am obviously gonna water. I already knew that the soil was dry anyway, but yeah, I'm gonna water my plant. It's been a while since, okay, I keep saying it's been a while since I watered, like obviously you guys already know that. So what I like to do when I water my plants, I like to water them twice, and what I mean like by that is I keep watering it until water flushes out of the bottom of the drainage hole. And right now the water inside of this is taking a while for it to drip down. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the bottom part of this, and I'm going to poke holes inside of the soil. This typically happens when the soil is so dry out that it becomes hydrophobic. When it's been a while since there's been moisture inside of the soil, sometimes the soil becomes hydrophobic, which just means that water doesn't penetrate inside of the soil. The water will literally just go around the circumference or the edges of the pot and then flush. It won't really go inside like where the roots are. And that's not good for your plant, obviously, because 1, it's not getting the moisture that it needs. 2, you're low-key wasting water or wasting the material, wasting the natural, because it's not really getting into the soil where the eggs are. So I'm gonna poke holes at the top to aerate the soil, so that way there's air pockets, and then the water can go through those air pockets and down the pot. Yeah, where are all these fungus gnats coming from? Because literally I was gone and I just didn't see. They were literally hiding. They were just waiting for me to come back. Like, that's really what I think has been happening. The plant that I just watered, this one, I just leave it inside of the sink so that way it completely drains out. And I do this with all of my plants. That's the reason why I like watering in a sink. So this next one that I have is a begonia that I was propagating. Like, and I know better than to propagate a plant, put it into some fresh soil, and then leave for 2 weeks. Like, I know better than that. I should have just left it in the water propagation, but whatever. So the leaves on here are extremely dry, extremely crispy. It's just so unfortunate, but yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and water this one. Another thing that I like to do too is that I like to inspect the plant right before I water it. So what I mean by that is I will go in and I will cut off the dry crispy leaves, or cut off any of the old leaves that are dying and stuff like that, which I will show you because I have some plants that have a lot of dying crispy leaves. But because this is a propagated plant and I just put it into the soil 2 weeks ago, I'm not gonna cut any of the leaves just yet. I'm just gonna leave it, but I will water it. So this plant I'm actually going to bottom water. All of the plants today, especially the ones in the kitchen and in the bathroom, and then some of the ones that are inside of my office, I will top water those plants. But for this one, I like to bottom water it just because when I got it a month or two ago, I isolated it from the rest of the other plants. And plus I put it in front of a window and I open up the window and I let the air like ruffle its leaves. So fungus gnats, I don't really see any in here, but I have not seen this plant this light ever. So that means that it's severely dry. I am going to bottom water it. I'm going to show you guys how I do that. But before I do that, I'm going to go in and cut off all of the dead leaves. How I bottom water is that I have a clear plastic container, And I fill it up with water and I just put the plant inside of it. It's really nothing special, but I do time how long I leave the plant in there for. So let me just show you, it's easier. Here's the container. I water it until it's a little bit halfway full. So here. And I don't want it too full because, one, I don't trust myself to not spill this water as I'm taking it to the table. And secondly, when I put the plant in it, inside of this container, the water is gonna rise. So I don't want any spillage onto the table as well. So yeah. One thing to know is that the plant, especially if it's super light, when you're dropping it into the container for bottom watering, the container is not stable because it's so dry. So I have to keep holding on to the plant until water has fully submerged inside of the bottom, and that's when it will become stable. So just hold on to it, because if you don't, the plant's gonna spill to this, it's gonna tip over to the side, and you don't want that. Bottom watering, you definitely have to be more patient with watering, but I love it. And then two, luckily I have a Google Home, and I just say, hey Google, please set a timer for 10 minutes. Once the timer goes off, I will come back and then I will assess. I'm just gonna show you, but if the pot is really, really heavy, then most likely I know that the plant has gotten a good drink of water. And then two, I will use my moisture meter, stick it inside of the middle of the planter is moist. Then I know this plant is, what's the opposite of parched? It's quenched. Its thirst is quenched. Yeah, so I will be back to assess this in 5 minutes. Or 5 to 10 minutes, but in the meantime I'm going to water the other plants that have the fungus gnat problems. Hey Google, please set a timer for 6 minutes. Back in the kitchen and I'm seeing fungus gnats literally everywhere. It's driving me insane, but that is the purpose of this video, to try to get rid of them. The plants that I've left inside of the sink, I'm going to assess whether they are no longer dripping water on the bottom, because once they stop dripping water on the bottom, I put them back. So this one, which is one of my favorites, is an asparagus fern. This one is done, so I'm gonna put it back. This one, water is still leaking out at the bottom, so I'm gonna just keep it in the sink. This one seems fine to me, so I'm gonna put it back. All right, so we're gonna water more plants. Yay! So I have this Cebu Blue, and this one is super thirsty, and how I know is that the leaves are so wilted, and also the pot is really light. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and water this one. Hey Gogo. Stop. Alarm just went off for my bottom watering, so I'm going to assess. It is heavy, but I feel like it could go maybe 5 more minutes, and I'll come back. Another thing that I wanted to mention about these prayer plants, or these calatheas, I think this is a prayer plant. I don't think this is a calathea, but they will tell you when they're thirsty. So that's one of the main reasons why I love having calatheas, because when they're really thirsty, their leaves start to curl inside. And let me show you what I mean by that. Even if you see one or two of your leaves starting to curl in like this, that is a good signifier that your plant definitely needs a good drink of water. And it's getting that right now. Let's go, baby. Okay, Google. Stop. All right, so the second alarm just went off. I'm going to check on this one. I'm pretty satisfied with how heavy it is, but I want to double check just to make sure that the middle of the planter has water in it. Around this area of the pot. So I stuck it in and it is around a 7 out of a 10, and that is perfect for me. And also another thing to do is after each time you use the moisture meter, make sure you rinse the bottom of the prongs, because you don't want to cross-contaminate from one plant to another plant. So I am super happy, and I am gonna put the plant back in its home. Okay, Google, set a timer for 5 minutes. This is the second place that I like to water my plants, which is just the bathtub, excuse me. And I typically like to bring my big plants in here because it's just a lot easier to water for me. So I brought the rubber tree in here and I'm gonna water it. I know you can't see me right now, but I'm outside and I have quite a few plants out here. They are so thirsty, dying for water. Just look at this pot though, it's like it's so wilted. And it also has a few yellow leaves that I'm gonna cut off. Get nearer. So, and then this also needs to be watered as well. So one thing that I want to note is that my outdoor plants, they don't have a fungus gnat problem. I'm literally just showing you how I water them. I use whatever water is left over in the container from bottom watering, and then I also use my watering can. I like to bottom water the pothos because I have to water it less when I bottom water it. So I'll show you how I do that. And yeah, let's get started. Okay, so I am pretty much done watering all of my plants. Today took a long time to water all of the plants just because I typically don't water all of my plants one time. I stagger them because some plants don't need to be watered as often. But today all the plants were thirsty, so they all got quenched. I'm gonna go ahead and sweep my stairs because there's a lot of dirt and debris. Thank you for watering my plants with me, and good luck on your fungus gnat eradication journey. I hope this video was helpful. Hopefully I can update you guys later and let you know that I have no more fungus gnats. Wish me luck. All right, bye. Thank you.